Hi guys, so I have something that I want to share with you this week. So I'm going to start off with a story. So right before the pandemic started and everything went crazy and chaotic, I actually had started my first job in what I had been studying for. Around the 6-month mark of my first job, I was really in the middle of it. I was having a really chaotic time. I was thinking about like quitting my job. My brain was going every which way and I did not feel good in my job. But I had signed a contract that I would stay there for a year. So basically, for whatever reason, I set a timer, or not a timer, a reminder in my phone for the day that I could quit, the day that I could submit my resignation letter. And I knew that things could change, right? Potentially I could end up loving my job like after the 6-month mark. And but it was just something that I had there because maybe something that kind of held me accountable. Like if I wanted to leave, like this would be the time to leave. And it was something that I could potentially prepare for. Like if I knew I wanted to leave at a certain date, that, you know, we could maybe do some interviews or start job searching, you know, maybe like a month or two beforehand. So I just left that reminder in my phone, and I remember I was like, damn, like I haven't really done anything to really leave my job. I am so far behind, and I submitted a few applications here and there, but I wasn't hearing anything like back from them. And then I was like, I guess I'm gonna be staying in my job longer than I thought. But what ended up happening was I ended up going to an interview that I was kind of hopeful about the position. The agency was a little bit more intense of the interview process than what I was expecting, and interview number 3, I left it feeling super defeated, and they were asking me questions and scenarios about things that were completely outside of my wheelhouse, like completely, and I left it being like, just like a sigh of like, what was that? Like mind blown emoji, and then like if I'm speaking in GIFs, like the one with the dog or in a room that's on fire saying I'm fine. Like that's how I felt. Great, like I'm using GIFs, but that's how I felt. So I left it, and they basically told me that I would find out within a week, like whether I got the position or not. And I went to bed feeling really discouraged. I went to bed feeling really discouraged. I started having all of these thoughts about like really critical thoughts of, you know, why am I not good enough? Like, why don't I know enough? Why couldn't I answer that better? Why didn't I say this? You know, it's just like, it's like I mess everything up. Why am I so stupid? And for someone like me who studied about mental health, there's something in cognitive behavioral therapy called core beliefs. And basically the idea is that we all have these like core beliefs, which is like kind of like a value or a belief that you have about yourself that can kind of shape like your perspective on everything that's happening. So for me, something that I have to actively like challenge is the idea that I never feel like I'm good enough. So after that interview, I was really struggling with that. I was like, I mess everything up, like what am I gonna do? I'm never gonna get hired. I am not smart enough, like I don't know enough, like it just every thought every thought that just made me feel like I wasn't good enough, my core belief, was popping into my head. Memories from like the 3rd grade where I screwed up in my head, just like every situation where I just screwed things up like in my head at that moment. And I remember this because I was laying in bed and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to sleep because this is all going in my head. And I remember like trying to pray, but like, you know, I was being constantly, like, it felt like I was being constantly weighed down by all of these thoughts. I could not even focus on my prayers other than me trying to talk to God, and then like 2 seconds later being interrupted with the thoughts of like, oh, why am I so stupid? Why did I say that? Like, in the middle of that, what ended up happening was that I started thinking about a person that, this is weird, but I started thinking about a person who was eating chips, and you know, like at the end of a bag of chips, basically there's like some tiny crumbs at the end, and then somebody's like, you're like dumping that bag and like trying to get the last bit of crumbs out of the bag. So I started thinking about this person. Like, I don't know who the person was, but just like somebody like trying to get the crumbs out of the bottom of the bag. Like, there was really nothing in the bag other than those crumbs, and they were like struggling to get that into their mouth. I was just kind of like, God, like, why am I having thoughts about somebody trying to eat the crumbs out of a bottom of a chip bag? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. I was trying to think about why I was thinking about that. Was I hungry? No. Like, I didn't know. It didn't make any sense with the things that I was thinking about, like about the interview and how it went. So it didn't make any sense until a couple of days later, when I got an email back from the agency, and they had let me know that they offered me the position, which I was super excited about, and super grateful for like the opportunity. And I got a notification on my phone from my reminder 6 months ago that I needed to submit my resignation. And that's when everything was like, I was in utter shock, because I had gotten my job offer on the day that I wanted to submit my resignation 6 months ago. And I mean, just like a moment of silence there, like it gives me chills, because I just think about how there are a lot of things. Sometimes I find myself struggling to pray for things that seem so big and so grandiose. I don't know why. Well, they're big for me. They're big in my mind. I'm like, oh, I don't know how this could ever happen. I find myself trying to pray for things that I think are realistic, and which is interesting, right? Because the Bible says that, you know, God can do the impossible, right? So sometimes I find myself like restricting my prayers, because I'm like, oh, that's not even gonna happen. It's not even in the realm of possibility, so I'm not gonna even like pursue that or pray for that. And I was just thinking about that, like that image of the guy eating the crumbs in the bottom of the bag. He's like digging for those crumbs. And it made sense to me, because I was thinking about how I asked God for the crumbs. Like, those are the things that I want, or those are the things that I ask for, because I think that God will be more likely to give those to me than like the bigger stuff that like I dream of. And I truly believe that God is saying that He has bigger and better things out there for us. And He, like, the job that He gave me on the day that I wanted to resign, like, that is the crumbs. And I thought that was like such an amazing, like wonderful, like just like almost impossible gift that He's given me. But for Him, those are crumbs. And I just want like you guys to know, whoever's watching this, that, you know, God has amazing and wonderful plans for you. Plans that you will never imagine, like you would never be able to think of, or like the only thing that you have to do is just believe that He will give you those things. Like He will provide for you in a way that you don't understand, and He will make a way for you. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're in the desert right now. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're just so overwhelmed with everything that's happening around you and you're surrounded by chaos, right? It doesn't matter, because God's got you. He sends His angels to guard you. And my favorite verse, the verse that says that though 1,000 fall at your side, like no harm will come to you. You know, that's how like specifically God protects you. It doesn't matter what's happening around you, and it doesn't matter how close all of this chaos is to you. God is protecting you. He has you, and He has amazing plans for you. And it can be hard, right? Like when we watch everything happening around us, to believe that there is more out there, and to believe that God has like all these amazing plans for us. But believe, He doesn't want you to dig for crumbs at the bottom of the bag. He wants to give you all the chips. Yeah. He wants to give you the full bag. Okay, guys, don't dig for the crumbs at the bottom. He wants to give you the full bag. Food is my language, so God understands, you know. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. I hope this message bless you. I hope that you feel encouraged by it, and I hope to see you soon. Share what you thought of what I had to say. I know it's very strange, but share what you think. Do you ever find yourself like struggling to pray or hope in things that are maybe seem like so like outside of like what you can do right now? Do you ever find that you have these like dreams for yourself and like for your life that maybe you don't know like how that can be possible? What are some of the things that you want to start praying for now? Pray for people in the comments below. And yeah, I will pray for whoever is watching this as well, that you will be blessed just as God has blessed me. Because honestly, we're all just regular people, and you know, if God sees me, He definitely sees you. And whatever you're going through, it doesn't matter if nobody else sees you, because God sees you. Okay, bye.